God, if they don't know how to play the triangle, then they're fucked.
Yeah, they're still wearing the masks. They can't ever reveal their identity. They just sit there playing golf.
We're all happy, smiling. No, we're not anymore. Okay.
Riley.
Yeah, exactly.
Riley mildly dislikes it.
Oh, we got plenty now. Oh, yeah. It'd be so much fun to be in a band with Weird Al.
Right, so I'm just imagining it's like pissing down with rain, a dark night. You're standing like on the edge of a bridge, and just Taylor Swift playing in the background. Like, I can't do this shit. He's a bit out of that generation, you know. He just put Zimmer Fram away before this. So,
it's away in the corner.
Surprised he gets such good signal in the home.
That sounds a bit too intimate there, Riley. That sounds a bit too intimate.
Hello, welcome to episode 11 of the Uncensored Podcast. 10 more than we expected. Today, I'm Riley, he's Tom, and we have guests.
Yeah, we are joined by Jesse and Julian from Everyday Dogs. How are you boys doing today?
We're doing good. Good.
Good to hear.
This is crazy. We're like Southern USA. This is awesome.
Yeah, you're our first American band to ever be on.
Yeah, you do have that. You're the first outside, I think outside England band that we've had on. So you can hold that prestigious title.
Glad you know we represent the world in this case. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. You're in front of millions right now.
Oh, let's go.
I wouldn't say millions, but in that case, let's get on to the questions.
Yes,
tens of millions.
So,
the origin of the band. How did Everyday Dogs come to where they are?
Yeah, so pretty much, so there's four of us in the band. So Julian and I here are brothers. We've known each other our whole lives, literally.
That's obvious.
And then our other two members are our bass player Tyler and our drummer Jack. So we all met, I guess it was summer of like 2017. We were all working at a summer camp together, and kind of in the off hours we do a lot of like jam session kind of style stuff where kind of after hours not doing stuff, we just kind of hang out and play music and stuff like that. We realized we all kind of like the same music and wanted to obviously play and start writing our own stuff. But yeah, pretty much so we kind of started jamming, playing music together, and we wanted to like write and record our own stuff. And we're all from like North Atlanta area, and then started going to school in Athens, Georgia, which is, very well known for being a spot for music. Bands like REM, B-52s, Widespread Panic have all kind of been there. So there's this kind of like musical prestige to the city, and it's a very good place to start playing music. So we really kind of dove headfirst into that, playing wherever we could. We do, we've done a lot of like venues, clubs, bars, a lot of fraternity and sorority stuff. They're kind of, whether it's like everything from like a philanthropy event to a party to like their formals and semi-formals and stuff like that. And this point we've played over 100 different shows. We've got we just put out, our first full-length album. So it's kind of cool to see, 4.5 years down the road, where that's taken us.
Yeah, amazing.
New album of which you can go and listen to right here in this top corner that I'll put up. Is proper wicked, it is. So good enough to make it onto the high ranks of the Uncensored Podcast. So
love it.
That royalty of the podcast industry. Joe Rogan's been knocking for weeks now. But
knocking on the door, right?
So the name origin, how did the name come about?
Well, we had a bunch of like every band, we had terrible band names, and we're like, we need something else because there's like four other bands with the name we had, and I had a song called Everyday Dogs, and we were like, that kind of describes like what we're kind of about. It's kind of like four dudes just playing music, and it kind of just the tone and vibe. So we're like, let's just use that, and it stuck.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good name, to be fair.
Hey, thanks.
It's very, very catchy.
Thank you.
It seems
so,
even that seems slightly more in depth than the process of us naming the podcast. I actually remember exactly how the conversation went. So Tom was like, so we still need a name for this thing. And I was like, yeah, what's your ideas? And then he spouted some good ideas. And I went, cool, I'm calling it Uncentered. And he went, oh, okay. And it's been called that from this moment on. It sucks that I'm the one who does all the tech shit because he's a bit out of that generation, you know. He just put his Zimmer fram away before this. So
it's away in the corner. So.
Surprised to get such good signal in the home.
No, I'm good today. So, what's your go-to music at this time? So, what is the main thing that you'll listen to?
Like right now, or like all the time?
Just in general.
All the time, in general. Just in general is amazing. So, like, I like to hear what people's like tastes in music are like.
Yeah. Well, we make kind of like this, you know, punk and roll, but we all like have roots in obviously the classic rock, you know, like that heavy classic rock from like the stuff on your wall right there, like Sabbath and GNR. Like I had the Iron Maiden down the corner. Yeah, that's pretty damn close. And then
Iron Maiden got a bit of Reckless Love.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, we all have like obviously a circle of like, you know, we all listen to early metal, a lot of like newer punk bands.
Yeah.
Like Skaggs and a lot of other Aussie punk ones. A little bit of metal here and there with
Bit of everything.
Yeah, you know, like anywhere from Beatles to Metallica, stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, the stuff we listen to is pretty much kind of it's reflective, just kind of in the broad sense of what we play. You know, we describe our music in the way that we like listening to it. Stuff with, you know, big loud drums, like kind of bombastic guitar parts, big guitar solos, and you know, well defined, you know, kind of song structures and melodies, and that's stuff that we like listening to, and it kind of comes out just whether you like it or not when you're writing stuff. You know, that sneaks its way into things.
Brilliant.
Yeah. This kind of links quite nicely into the next question I've got down of like what bands would you say like your biggest inspiration for like what would you compare your music to? Like
that's always a tough one because we have to that's the question we answer every time we try to do like ad campaigns. And I don't really know. Like, a lot of times we say like Queens of Stone Age, like the Chat, Skaggs, anyone else? Like, Monkeys, Offspring sometimes. Yeah, Motorhead. Yeah.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, you can definitely hear, like you can hear the bit of that influence in there, like when you're listening. So. Yeah, especially with like the newer stuff. We've in the past, if you were to like listen through our discography from 2018 to now, you definitely see a lot of different things. I think you could say early on we've definitely pulled from a lot of kind of garage indie rock kind of stuff from Strokes and Kooks and whatnot. We kind of veered into a little bit of grunge territory with some of our releases midway through a couple of years ago, listening to like Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam and all that. But like the newest stuff with like the music we've been putting out for the last year, the stuff that's like pretty everything that's on our first album, we wanted to have a very unified sound, something that you could listen through top to bottom and say, okay, this sounds like a band with some sort of musical vision. So we like to use the term punk and roll to describe our newest stuff that's got kind of the sentiment of punk rock, but with the funness of rock and roll, so to speak. That's kind of like how we like to describe it, really. I do think like sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No? Oh, okay.
I was just saying nice.
All right. No, I do think that's definitely the best. I'd say some of my favorite artists are artists that every time they'll release something, it's a little bit different. Like, because as much as it's good to have a sound to be like, yeah, this is the shit we're good at, like having that like more like experimental thing, like, oh, how about we like go a bit more in this direction for this one? It makes it more enjoyable to listen to, because sometimes if you listen to an album of someone who's a bit more like set in their ways, you go, oh wow, I've heard that before. It's just less interesting, like to me, to listen to, because I've got an awful attention span. Like, so if I feel, that sounds familiar, I'm just going to go to the next one. So I do think it's definitely good.
Keep moving forward, keep taking steps like in the right direction. As long as like it's more so like sentiment that we like to keep the same. Like lighthearted attitude. Like rock and roll should be fun, you know, like it's not our stick and life to make these super heavy, politically charged. Really, like we're just here to make some fun tunes. The rock and roll. Yeah, and speaking of attention spans, like we're very intentional with our most recent songs to keep them pretty short. I love Rush and a good 15-minute song, but it's tough to do that right. And we found that if we can really deliver a really succinct, let's pack a punch in a 2.5 minute, a 3-minute song. Let's get all these ideas, kind of really compress them into something that's very succinct and that people can just jam along real quick, have a good time, have fun, and not feel like they're dozing off partway through that. And we feel that same way playing the songs live. It's like, all right, let's just hit people with as much, quick, high energy as possible.
Yeah, cool. That's
get everyone all hyped up.
Yeah, like for me personally, like my attention span is awful, but if like a long song is done right, I can sit through that like multiple times on loop. Because like Tom is very like rock metal, that is his like vision. Like I've because I've been brought up with it, like I kind of have a bit more of like the hip hop side as well. And like there's a few guys I love, like massive, like big production, like you're standing in the middle of this like massive, everything around you, it's just big. I'm such a sucker for that. And when like long length songs are like broken up into so it's gonna go up here and then it's gonna like sink a bit down here, like that's what makes it engaging. And like when that's done right, then you get like an awesome song, I think. Like
that is a feature. That's a feat to do that, like you were saying, it takes someone on a journey. Especially get people's attention. That's what I like.
Definitely.
Well, so obviously you've got the new album out, so I've had a listen to it. I think it's just amazing.
Cool, thanks.
I just think it's like one of the best things I've ever heard.
Wow, that's a hell of a comment. Yeah, thank you, man.
Like I try to, like, whenever a band comes on, I try and at least give it like everything a listen before they come on, just so I can just say that I've listened to them and that I think they're good. So, but yeah, a good album overall.
Thank you. It makes sense with you with your album collection in the back. Yeah.
It's especially with all of my taste. So
but no, it is really good because like me and Tom, obviously I can't say in our profession, like we average a whole 30 views a video, and I jump with joy when I get 5 likes on Instagram. So
love the journey, man. Right. You're doing what you love, man. That's important.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like if this is fun, we do it because this is so much fun. And like if I get to speak to people who like make music that I love, then like who cares if it's got loads of like views? And if it does get loads of views, oh wow, wicked. Like maybe I can get paid for doing what I'm loving. But like this is it's like something that we thought we'd do as a hobby just turn into a full-on passion project. Which is brilliant. The disease you guys have. We like that's what we do. We just been, even since we released the album, like we keep writing. It's what we love to do, and people like to hear it. That's great. We do it anyway, Yeah, and authenticity matters. People know if you're real or not. If you're doing it for the right reasons or the wrong reason. If you're doing it because you enjoy it, people are going to understand that. They're going to catch on to that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be honest. This question is a bit of a stinker. However, I need to get this to at least an hour, so you got to get some padding in there. Do you have any venues that like dream venues that you like want to play?
Ooh, dream venues. Done. Well, there's a couple of mine. There's one. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Red Rocks in America. It's in Colorado.
I think I've heard of it before.
If you guys not heard of it, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's outside, and it's like I think it's Billboard's there, but like everyone always plays there. Beautiful, like it's built into the mountain in the Rocky Mountains. It's
gorgeous. Like you're like, and it's like a stadium seating too.
Oh god, yeah, that is sick.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. For me, I guess it's not so much like I guess it's more. There's some big festivals in Atlanta that I think would be really cool to be a part of. Like there's one called like Music Midtown, which is cool. It just kind of takes over the city for a few days, and kind of being from Atlanta, it would be really cool to, be a part of that. I always, kind of like that imagery. You see these big kind of, whether it's like a Lollapalooza or Coachella or something like that. Those big seas of people that are waving the big flags. I just think it'd be so cool to be part of something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we go to Antarctica. I don't think many people have done Antarctica to play.
Not many
I
have.
don't think many people have.
I feel like Metallica has done that.
They're probably the only band.
Yeah, I think Metallica's the one, but I think
Just fly out to the middle of nowhere in Antarctica and just play a set in the snow.
Play the Penguins.
the Penguins.
Exactly.
I think it's only like one or like a few, very few bands that have done like all 7 continents.
Yeah.
I want to say one of them are the Arctic Monkeys, but I could be wrong. But I vaguely remember reading that somewhere. I'll fact check it later.
Yeah.
Or I'll get my editor to put it on screen right here. Thanks very much. Because we have an editor now, like proper professionals.
Oh, wow.
I know. Moving up in the world.
Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat. Still
But yeah. Speaking of dream things or dream stuff, who would be like your ideal collaboration for a song? Like your dream collaboration for a song?
That's a good question.
That was a good question.
There's a lot of picks that you could just go from. There's like loads of different bands and artists that you could just pick from.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's just one of my favorite bands right now is a band called White Reaper, and they kind of have a similar sort of like attitude and vibe of they play just kind of like fun kind of rock and roll style stuff with a lot of good guitar parts and good melodies and stuff. I think they'd be a lot of fun to do something with, if not just to meet the guys, but to do something musical together would just be super cool.
Brilliant.
I think for a collab, I think it'd be cool to like you find somebody just the complete opposite, like we get like Herbie Hancock or something like that. I think that'd be pretty insane. Or like I don't know, someone in the hip hop world.
Iggy Azalea.
Just completely up, like turn it on its head and just like play something just absolutely random with them.
Yeah,
That'd be brilliant, though.
Let's get the change.
No, but sometimes like taking an artist slightly out of like their usual comfort zone works really well. Like I remember. No, it was not a very good song.
I'm thinking of one. I'm thinking of
CMFT.
Who?
Hey, Corey Taylor.
Corey
That's
Taylor
a good.
and
I
Tech
love that
9.
song.
Corey Taylor and Tech 9. It was all right.
I
it was
love that
very
song.
like bizarre to see like the people who were on that song, but it's all right. But yeah, I do think sometimes taking people slightly out of what like they're used to can definitely make it like amplify it in a way.
Like a great Daft Punk out of retirement. I mean, that would work. That would work very well.
Oh yeah, that sounds brilliant. Everyday Dogs and Daft Punk.
Make it like a cyberpunk album.
Oh, that'd be sick though. I would listen to that though. That's the thing. That'd be brilliant. Oh god. Cyberpunk Everyday Dogs. Oh yeah, I reckon hit them up. But what are they doing now? Realistically, I'm sure they can take it.
Nothing they've retired.
They're probably tired of playing golf in France or wherever they are. Right?
French, yeah, they're French.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
still wearing the masks. They can't ever reveal their identity. They're just sitting there playing golf.
Yeah, that's a funny. Like they're just like walking down the streets of Paris.
Yeah, I reckon they don't take them off. So remember when Jay Swingler cemented his head into a microwave? I reckon they've just permanently got the masks like on their heads. Like can't take it.
Just super glued on.
Yeah, exactly.
They are.
Right. Okay. So shit. Where am I? That's right.
We've gone a bit up and down. So
Do you ever like go home and like just listen to your own music for pleasure, or do you?
that sounds a bit too intimate there, Riley. That sounds a bit too
Yeah.
intimate.
In your leisure. In
The
your
leisure.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm by myself, I'm just kind of like check your work. Honestly, like once it's out to the people, and I kind of listen to it less and less. But honestly, like, my favorite time is like when we're all together and we record like either a phone recording of a new song or like after we've recorded the mix before it's out. That's kind of like my favorite time. Like,
Yeah.
It's just for me right now. Like it'll be out, man. It's everybody. So like for this little like 2 month or sometimes how long it is, like, even if it's a garbage phone recording, like that's always a blast that in the car wherever I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think about listening to our older songs almost like in the same way I think about like looking through like an old picture book or like looking through like an old scrapbook.
Yeah.
Like that. Just because it's like I'll go back and listen, and I'll sometimes I'll listen sometimes critically, be like, why did we do that? Why did we not do that? But a lot of times it's kind of more just like I remember everything that kind of went on behind the scenes, whether it was like, the story behind the song, or a lot of times what it was like when we were in the studio, whether like, we are all, in this place or that place. And so it's just kind of more like, just looking at an old photo book, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it is sometimes jarring to listen to your old, like, what the hell were we thinking? Like, we'd made this, like, 11 minutes of, like, a prog rock song about the Mars rover, and I was so adamant, like, one song. It's like, it's all important.
Yeah,
it was fun, but, like, it's of its time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's one of those things where no matter what song or kind of what crazy direction we've kind of pulled in different ways over times, I'm always proud of every song that we've put out. If we've put it out for people to hear, it means that at some point in time we believe that this was good enough for other people to hear, and that means something. And it's I think it's worth standing behind.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, mate. Right, so I've got a choice of 2 questions here. I don't know what one to use.
They're not the good ones, so it's fine.
The good question.
No, one of them might be a good question. One of them might be a good question. So, obviously, people have got like bands or like not people, like genres that they just really, really dislike. So, what I'd like to know what your least favorite like band or like artist is.
All about positivity here.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to say that you hate them. You just mildly dislike them.
Oh, we got plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time.
It's always a big list. Like a specific band or just like a genre?
Anything you want in general. And like
I would
just
say,
getting all the hate out right now.
I work at a venue / bar, and every time there's like a country pop artist that comes in like that, because there's like good country, there's good pop, but like all country pop makes me want to just jump off a bridge. Like it's so corporate. It's all the same thing. All the poor musicians that are playing with this like the one guy, they all look bored, and like no one's actually watching the show. Everyone's just losing out. Like.
Exactly.
Like no one's there to see me. It's like, oh yeah, let's go to this bar and there's music, but we pay for tickets. It doesn't make any sense to me. They all, because there's good. I like good. There's good country going on right now too. Culture war, like obviously classic but if you're singing about,
No, what I find so funny is like country pop is meant to have like almost upbeat vibes. So I'm just imagining like it's like pissing down with rain, a dark night. You're standing like on the edge of a bridge, and it's just Taylor Swift playing in the background. Like, fuck, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, it's like the end of a shit movie. Like, where it should have like solemn music or like something in the way. Instead, it's just like an old Taylor Swift album. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
Or a villain origin story.
Villain origin story. I heard it.
Fleetwood Mac kind of sucks, in my opinion. But
It's all opinions. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, all of our band members have at least one band that like it's universally known. Like, dude, I can't stand them. Bob Seger. I like some songs.
I mean, to be fair, everyone's got that one band that they just hate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A specific band. There's a lot I don't like. ZZ Top. I've never been a big ZZ Top fan. Oh gosh, I guess more of just like a genre. Any sort of just like mumble trap, SoundCloud rap stuff. Is
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm agreeing with that. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Well, because there's some hip hop rap stuff I really like. But for me, it's like if it just sounds like pretty soulless, like you just put some generic cicada beat out of like Logic or Pro Tools or whatever, and then you kind of mumbled some things and then just threw a bunch of autotune and reverb on it. It's just pretty contrived. Just because there's some cool just like rap stuff, but there's a lot of like once you just kind of overproduce it and just kind of have this kind of lazy sort of thing. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. But
with rap, I don't tend to listen to rap. But probably the only like artist that I'd listen to is Post Malone. Like,
but he's not a rapper. That's the thing. I wouldn't consider
not
Post
as
Malone
much
a rapper.
anymore.
Especially not like anymore. Like there's kind of an argument for like beer bongs and Bentley stuff. Like even though that's verging on pop, but with his newer shit, I wouldn't consider him a rapper personally.
Yeah, he's got some cool songs.
We love like 90s hip hop, like old school hip hop. So it's just so energy. I like music with energy. I think that might be it. It hypes me up.
Yeah, it's somebody's, even if there's like samples and stuff going on underneath it, it's somebody's voice underneath it. Yeah. It feels like a real person. So I think that's important.
I do think some of the best songs have like retro samples because it just kind of adds another level on top of like the person you're used to listening to. Then like there's these bits of this thing and like and even like if it's like someone and like it's sampled like I recognize that it just gives that another layer of depth, which I always quite like. But thing is, a lot of people like I see a lot of people. It's mainly like my granddad and stuff, but they're like, oh, all this rap. Oh God, I don't like it. It's so violent, and all they do is mumble. Like it's not all like that. Like to be honest, I mean, don't get me wrong, Tom is just like that. Like there is some shit rap, like, but there's something shit in every genre. Like the people are like, oh, yeah, I get loads of money. Hey, ooh, like it's not great. Like it's the same thing over and over again. But some people like can use it very well. Like Kendrick Lamar. Exactly. Like Kendrick, he's a genius.
Yep.
And like he's like a prodigy. He is debatably like the greatest of all time to do it in the hip hop industry. And like, but like people go, oh no, I hate rap because they all mumble. And like, but when there are people like Kendrick and like Santan Dave who are actually like really tapped in people, like proper smart, like they're like talking about issues that are going on right now, but it just kind of gets overlooked a bit, I think.
Sure.
I was just about to say, Riley, I don't think his name's actually Santan Dave.
No, it's not, but that is what
it's just
referred to.
Name, but right, step away from rap now. Let's just push that to the side. Let's push it out of the frame.
Stormzy's album that comes out soon.
Nothing.
I'm a fan of Stormzy.
I love Stormzy. I was watching his interview with Louis Theroux the other week, just because I was on a boat and he was just being interviewed. I thought I might as well watch it. But he said that this album is just like not as much of. It's kind of just him doing what he wants to do rather than being like the whole gonna beat you up. That is like present in a lot of his music. But I don't know. I reckon it will be good. Oh, by the way, 10-minute warning. This one's going to end, so we're going to have to start a new one soon. So this is where the filler questions come in because we don't want to ask the good ones and then it cuts off.
Yeah. Okay.
Tom, do you have any? Or?
No, right. It's your turn to ask a question now, I believe, but I'm saving my one quite good question till after.
All right.
So just
Well,
waffle for a bit.
yeah. So I'm just gonna waffle questions off the top of my head. But is there any time, like maybe you were like on a tour or saying where everything just seemed to go to shit? Like,
Weed.
more than you think. Yeah.
oh god.
We've had some adventures. Like that's the thing. Yes and no. Because every time everything goes wrong, because things go wrong, we're at a low level,
Yeah.
We're not tour with Guns N' Roses. We don't have tour buses. We drive a minivan. The four of us. We take all of our shit across the country or around the state. Yeah, we've had some adventures or like just where like we play like homeless shelters. We're gonna be playing homeless shelter or like what was that? Parks, which that was fun. They're fun, but that's the thing. Like all those things in hindsight, I wouldn't do it again. But am I glad I did it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all memories at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, like it was fun to do.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things where we're in the fortunate position, at least, where we're all friends with each other in the band, and that's really what makes a difference.
Yeah, so like everyone gets along almost.
Yeah, everyone gets along. We all share each other's humor. So even in like the really crappy situations,
we're cracking jokes. Like no one's like really hissy. Like everyone's still having a good time.
Yeah, because it's like you spend so much time together. Even like at our very low level as a band, driving from A to B or whatever. Like a few weeks ago, we had a gig in Baton Rouge, which is an 8-hour drive for us. And if you don't like the people you're in the car with for 8 hours one way and 8 hours back, it's going to, no matter how good a musician you are, you're not going to ever play with them ever again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So I mean, we, make the most of it. We make, at the end, it's one of those things we're having fun, and we will sometimes play music. Sometimes it's a good show. Sometimes it's not.
Either way, we bring the our best and have fun with it. Our little motto.
Yeah, you make the most of the situation. You take what's in your control and you push it to the absolute.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the exact right way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I've just thought of a question off the top of my head, actually.
Oh,
So,
this is the first
Yeah, an actual first for me. So
podcast host thinks of question for podcast.
All right. So what I'm trying to proper think of it, like trying to word it. That's probably going to take like 5 minutes. So like promoting an album, what would be not the ideal? Like, would you want to like make a big old deal, like hire blimps out and everything for it, and like fly them all across everywhere? Like, what would be the ideal one for you?
As far as like
a big, just a big, like massive announcement, just to everywhere where you could put it anywhere, just to announce that your album, your album is out.
Like, what would be the coolest way to go? Hey, this is our shit. Listen to it.
I'm going with crop circles. We're gonna think that it's gonna be like and just like scare some people. What the heck? Like, what the hell? Listen to our album. Like, drop some shit.
Oh, I don't know.
Drop it from a plane.
I don't know if you
drop
remember.
it from a plane. It's just a little like care package with like a little parachute on it. Just floats down to them.
Do you remember back in like 2020 where that just a mysterious obelisk just appeared in the middle of the desert? Let's get one of those. Is it aliens? Hey, it's just listen to our album and Spotify code.
It's just a big machine with just a QR code on it saying listen to the album.
Yeah.
With an URL.
What's an URL?
I remember it was probably, it was 2020, and there was a quite big British band called Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes that were like about a month away from releasing an album, and they put like a big billboard up in I think it was Brixton in London, and it had like a phone number on it, and if you run that phone number, you'd get a preview of one of their songs, and it would be like it wouldn't be a choice. Like you'd get like a random song just play through the phone to you. I feel like that would be like a really brilliant way to promote a song.
I like
just to promote an album.
Yeah.
do that, or like one of those people job at like a grocery store, and like you just start putting in cards with like QR codes on it. So every time someone like just like taking out their groceries, and like,
It's like
just put it in a little bag.
yeah,
scanning their items away.
Take that while you're at it.
Yeah, like you scan the items. Oh, whoopsie! It seems that I've dropped a copy of my album, which is available to listen to now. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
right.
silly. Yeah, right. This is about to cut off, so I'm going to stop this one and then start the new one. For the good question, at least in my opinion. So,
Good questions.
Shan, if you could do the nice little clicky fingers thing.
okay.
Flawless. So part 2. You didn't even know part 1 ended. Let's delve into the good questions now, in my personal opinion. So
What Riley claims to be the good questions.
right, I don't think people love this question as much as I love this question, but oh well, I run this shit.
So my show.
So yeah, exactly. No, but if you had a mascot, what animal or like inanimate object would it be?
Well, we are everyday dogs. So
I was thinking that.
we actually do have we dropped like 6 singles for our album, and we used like a long time ago we had a single that had a dog with 3D glasses on with it.
Mhm.
So like that's kind of dope. It kind of like became a running theme, kind of like running joke, and it was like all of our singles had one, like it was the same dog, just doing different shit. But we called him Michael Bark because one of our friends.
Michael Bark.
Yeah, that's a dumpster fire.
I mean, it's still a mascot at the end of the day. All you need now is just the costume with the big head.
Yeah.
Just for the dog.
Weirdly, that is one of the most normal mascots that we've got as an answer so far. We had a sandwich a few episodes ago, so.
What were they, like the Rubens?
No, it's a reference to something that is going to be asked later. So
Better question.
Riley's favourite question.
Yeah, it is my favourite question actually. So
Okay.
but we're not there yet. So Tom, fire away.
Yes. Right. So this is a kind of serious one, but like, what would you want to see for the future of your band? Like, where would you want to see yourselves?
That's a serious question.
I
Only
tend
get
to ask.
seriouser from here.
I tend to ask all the serious questions. Riley just asks all the fun, ridiculous questions.
Until the next question, it gets deep.
Yeah.
I think right now we've been doing everything ourselves. Like we're 100% independent, organic, which we love the process. But we've got we're hovering at like 2,000 monthly listeners. So for the next year or two, we're currently doing everything in our power to drive people to Spotify and kind of increase their presence. Go on their tours. Actually connect with more people. Just connecting with more people. On that front, kind of digital, and we've been doing all these trying to game TikTok and Instagram, which is great, but Spotify is a big one.
Yeah.
But
to be honest, I reckon a UK tour would definitely be in the books in probably the next couple of years.
Oh yeah,
I'm hoping because I want to see you one day over here.
Hey,
Over here.
Yeah,
we've been trying to get there first.
I was saying, yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, none. I've never been to the UK before, so that would be a cool thing just to be over there.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is it's nothing special. It just rains.
It's just raining.
It just rains. That's all.
Me and Tom have been to some nice little venues that we could recommend.
There are a good couple of little venues that we can recommend.
Definitely.
Okay.
As soon as you guys be our first contact there.
Yeah.
As soon as we get When you guys first
We're the UK contacts for
yeah.
the everyday dogs.
We are
We're-
we're quite avid concert goers. So have a show at the Lafayette. That place is sick.
The Lafayette.
Yeah, the Lafayette is possibly my favorite like small venue that I've been to. It's really sick.
Oh,
Cool.
Blackheart in Camden is a very, very good venue.
We're speaking
It's
a different language right now. I know. But,
Yeah,
Yeah, what was that one called? I'm making notes.
the
the
Lafayette, and then
yeah. The Blackheart, I think. Yeah, the Blackheart,
Blackheart in Camden, you said?
Camden.
Okay.
Oh,
Got it.
it's like a nice little bar down below. Like you'll enter and it's just a bar, and then like you'll go up like a set of stairs and it'll just be like a it's a small area where you just play.
Okay.
it's wicked.
It is
I haven't been.
it is amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I guess we'd have to worry about, I guess, like power adapters for all of our gear and stuff.
That is actually true.
But
Yeah.
definitely better stores, bigger Spotify. But we're putting in the work. That's kind of the biggest thing.
Yeah, of course.
Our biggest thing is like writing music. So
Mm.
a couple as down the line, just keep going into it. More songs.
Yeah.
But definitely, come to UK, man. Me and Tom, we are sufficient tour guides. We can tell you every alley of very specific roads.
I
I
think
wouldn't say that.
I think I can find my way around. No.
We'll be able to show you stuff like the London Eye and that.
I couldn't.
Okay.
I could probably.
I could show you a picture. That's about as close as I'm getting. Oh, I failed geography. Right. Okay, now we're all happy, smiling. No, we're not anymore. Okay, because this
Oh,
is
Riley.
yeah, exactly. This is
Riley's getting serious now. Riley's getting way too serious.
like, oh, you got to be ready for this, like a proper like crack your knuckles moment. So, I mean, on this podcast, we like some fun and games, but occasionally you have to get into the deep dive and like the proper nitty gritty shit. And so, me and Tom, we debated cutting this question out because it's a bit emotionally disturbing for many. However, we agreed as a team that it's beneficial to ask this question. So, what is the best kind of sandwich?
Oh.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Best kind. Talking like, I'm gonna say, you guys have, I guess you guys don't have Publix over there. Just a Publix, like a grocery store.
Doubted it. I don't think, yeah.
They call it pub sub, and it's like this sub that's about like that big.
Right.
You get ham, turkey, roast beef,
Oh yeah. Nice.
cheese, and some lettuce, tomato, jalapenos. I'm talking like
Jesus.
yeah, dude. We're going in. And some like sub sauce. That's what I'm going to. It's a treat.
That just sounds almighty.
It does.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Jesus of sandwiches.
It's the heavy hitter for sure.
Oh, I do love this question. It's personally, it's my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Riley loves it just because it catches everyone off guard. Like we're just sitting there talking about music all the time. And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
music-related
It's
stuff,
got
and then
no relevance.
it just out of nowhere it just catches everyone off guard.
It's
Yeah.
I always like to build it up, like we're about to ask about their deepest trauma. I
Yeah.
just ask what their preferred sub sandwich is, because it's just it always throws them. But
Yeah, it's the best.
weirdly, you get some good answers out of this. We haven't had a repeated one yet, so
Yeah.
people are
Yeah,
very
keep
creative.
it like it fun.
Yeah.
Man, I guess for me, I love like an Italian sub. So just load up like the ham, salami, pepperoni, provolone cheese is a good one as far as cheese toppings. Having, I'm just describing my Subway order right now. Pastrami is always a great addition. Loaded with some shredded lettuce, tomatoes, onions, with some olive oil and vinegar on whole wheat sub. So There's my order.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah.
my order is elite. I get Tom. It's like I swear it's the Italian BMT in it with the 3 different types of meat.
That's
Yeah,
a good
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
That one, man. It's so good. And then Italian herb and cheese bread, cheese and toasted, obviously, barbecue sauce, black olives, and onions, and that's it. That bangs.
Yeah. And I expect the barbecue sauce.
I'm just plain. I'll just go like I'll just have a meatball sub. Nothing on it. I'll just be
They are
straight
good,
up plain.
Mhm.
They are good.
Meatball subs like actually do bang. But so that's sandwich talk. It's always everyone's favorite segment. I put some confetti on and cheering, children cheering. There we go. It'll be there in post.
Yeah.
It will. It's probably. I'm out of questions, Riley. I believe.
I don't have a question.
I haven't got any questions left.
Right. Well, I guess it's the big final one that everything builds up to. But this should take a good 5, 10, hopefully 15 minutes.
Everyone gets stumped by it because they don't know how. They don't know.
Yeah.
what
Do
to
you have
do.
your pen and pad out?
I do have my pen and pad out.
We deliberately don't warn people. We deliberately do not warn people about this in advance so that they freeze up and think, so it takes longer. Right, so I'll go over all the rules. So you can make your dream band. The people can be dead or alive. They do not have to play the instrument that they're known for playing. However, it'll probably work better if they do. You don't have to be in the band, but you can be. And you can have as many people as you want on whatever instrument you want, but you must have at least the core fundamentals of a singer, a bassist, a drummer, and a guitarist.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Can we do Nightmare Band too? Just the worst.
And you can choose if you want to make a team one or if you want to do one each.
Okay.
Ooh, do you want to do it together or?
No way, dude. Your band's gonna suck.
Yeah, I already have a figure in mind.
Oh, go for it. You go.
Man, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Weird Al movie, but I think it'd be so much fun to be in a band with Weird Al. He's so light and wholesome. He seems fun. And so okay, he's got accordion. He can play accordion. He can still sing. Who else would I want? Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob.
Oh goodness.
He has a band called Tom Kenny and the High Seas.
They rip.
They're a great band. He again would also be fun. He can probably play guitar, I guess.
You have no idea if he plays guitar. You've just decided you're putting him on guitar.
He can probably play guitar. I'm guessing so.
Oh yeah, I probably should have stated that they won't learn the instrument that they've got. If they don't know how to play the triangle, then they're fucked. Like,
yeah. Who would I want for drums?
The Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah, Animal from the Muppets is a good one. Okay, and then I'll play terrible bass. So,
What a team.
well, there you go.
do you want any wild cards thrown in there? Not like they weren't all wild cards. But, if you want a trumpet player or just someone there doing this, then you can.
I'll put Miles Davis in there as my wild card. I'll
What's he
put one
gonna
of
be
the
on?
greatest.
Or is he just going to be there?
He'll still play. He'll be just
He's just vibing.
yeah, just one of the most pristine musicians to ever live, and he can hang out with Animal, Weird Al, and Tom Kenny.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I think that's the best one we've ever got.
I don't think I can top that.
Oh god, we're planning on putting them all into a big competition at some point when I can be bothered.
Yeah, you label that one as the everyday dog one. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been so serious up until now, and we've got SpongeBob and Animal,
And Weird Al.
and also and Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Oh.
That would be I wish I was a fly on the wall during a rehearsal session for that.
Yeah, can you imagine that concert? How wild that would be.
That'd be great. Because
That'd be
you
amazing.
wouldn't hear the singer. Like Weird Al be trying to just had him going. And it'd be brilliant. I would watch it. So Yeah, man. I reckon you got a solid one there. All right. So if that's your one done, on to the next.
All right.
Ooh, like next man.
Got big shoes to fill here.
Yeah, I know, man. Who plays drums?
Who does
things? Have you seen that one episode of SpongeBob where they play Sweet Victory?
Yeah.
Whoever's, I don't know who's singing. It's not actually SpongeBob. Whoever's the voice of that, he's my vocalist for sure.
Hang on, I'll look it up. What'd you say?
They just look up Sweet Victory, and then there will be a SpongeBob video that comes up. Get the voice of an angel. That'd be great.
I just wrote it down as Sweet Victory Singer. So I don't know who sings it. I'll just put it down as that. I'll just write it down. I'll write down who it actually is later.
Hang on, I'll get it. David Glenn Isley.
Yeah, he's got the voice of an angel. He's who I want in my band.
I'll forward it to you, Tom.
Cool.
Let's go with him. We're gonna put. Make a nightmare band. I'm gonna do the next one. We're gonna put the Ages in the nightmare. On drums, we're gonna put. Who was his name?
Keith Moon.
Keith Moon. Keith Moon's on drums.
It's just. I'm sure those two will go great together. So.
Bass. I want one less Claypool. I want the goat. We gotta put him on there. Slap in there. And
Is that sorry?
Les Claypool.
Bass from Primus.
From Primus.
Okay.
Guitar got Malcolm Young from
Okay.
guitars of all time. I'll say that.
Very different to anything else we've had, to be fair.
So yeah.
Even mine and Tom's are very, very, very different.
What's on y'all?
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. I had Miles Kennedy on vocals.
Love
Because
Miles.
that was the right choice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Who did I put anywhere else? Tom, you've got it somewhere.
Just remember. I'll have it on my phone. I'll remember mine off the tip of my head. I had Steven Tyler on vocals from Aerosmith. I had the bassist from Rage Against the Machine.
Hell yeah.
Obviously on bass. I had the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold on drums.
Okay.
I had Jason Hook on rhythm guitar from Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
And then my good friend Tagore Gray from the band The Treatment.
Okay.
Oh.
They are a very good British band.
Yeah.
I remember listening to a lot of their stuff. Like, oh gosh, yeah. I mean, 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, I remember I listened to them a bunch. Yeah.
And if you haven't already, check out our episode with Tagore Gray from The Treatment, which is available to watch now after this one.
Oh, cool.
We've had him on. He's like one of the most loveliest people you've ever met.
Yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
an insane moment.
Yeah. I remember watching the music video. Was it to Nothing to Lose But Our Minds? I remember that.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
They are a really
I'm
good band.
remembering now. I had Jimi Hendrix on joint lead guitar with. Oh shit, it's gone.
I'll have to get. I'm gonna have to get it up.
Yep, you are.
I've got it written down.
Tom to
somewhere.
the rescue. Oh shit! I remember nothing.
Hold on, I've got it here.
He's got them all
Right.
prepared in the bank
Yeah.
for when we do something with them.
Oh, Riley, you was completely wrong with Jimi Hendrix because you had Miles Kennedy on vocals, Herman Lee on guitar,
No, yeah, I had Herman Lee, and then I had Jimi
Angus
Hendrix.
Young.
Huh?
You put Angus Young.
Not for my other guitarist.
You put that for the other guitarist, because then you had Lemmy Kilmister on bass and Bill Ward on drums.
Oh wow.
Okay. Let me. Okay.
It's a metal powerhouse right there.
It is. Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, you two seem like you have very, very cool bands.
Yeah, I would love to go and see your bands live.
Definitely. As much as Animal would just be sitting there on the drums screaming.
Yeah.
I reckon if you come to the UK, your 2 opening bands should be the ones you've just made. Pull a few strings.
Just get a puppet of Animal in the back, and then just try and get a big statue of SpongeBob. Problem solved.
Yeah, go on, get the drummer to wear an animal mask and just.
Yeah. So Julian's been over here making his nightmare
I'm
band.
making a nightmare band right now.
Oh God.
Meg White.
Oh dear.
Tom, you might want to write this down as an extra.
Writing it. Go on a minute.
The Nightmare Band.
Well, Nightmare Band. Right, let's hear it.
All right. On drums, I'm stuck between Meg White and Lars from Metallica. Got those 2 on drums. White Stripes. Love her, but it couldn't work into the band.
Have them both. They just share the drum kit.
They get half the drum kit each.
Got those 2. The Edge is on guitar from U2. I hate that he's playing. We got Yoko singing. And we got Sid Vicious on bass because he can't play bass.
Who was it that had someone else had Sid Vicious, but I think they had Sid Vicious on vocals.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a tough listen. I think he was in Sessions for an hour, and then he kind of around.
Hang on. Let me do a quick fact check for something real quick.
Riley's just quickly researching who Sid Vicious is.
No, I'm not. I was just saying, in my nightmare band, I would definitely have Tony Kenning on guitar.
Who's that?
He's the drummer from Def Leppard.
No! That's out of order. That is out of order, right?
No, I love Tony Kenning. I think he's really, really talented for doing what he does. But I do think he would qualify for a nightmare band if he was on guitar.
Steel Panther's drummer does a very good impression of him. Like our podcast, we love Steel Panther. I got to see him I got to see him at Download Festival this year, and there I think Michael Starr went, "Oh, our drummer can do a very, very better impression of the drummer from Def Leppard," and he just goes like that and just starts playing with one hand.
Oh God!
To be fair, he was really good. He's really good. They're a really, really good band to see.
Yeah.
No, but he's a really talented drummer, but he wouldn't be very
Both of them are.
Right, well...
Have him sat down like that. Have him sat down with just his hand.
He probably could play with his teeth. But unless there's any more surprise nightmare bands to get thrown at us...
just random curveballs just coming towards us.
I think that was it. Yeah.
All right. Well, any last minute things anyone wants to get in?
I think we said our piece.
Yeah, we said what I said.
Thanks again for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I think everyone should go and listen to Everyday Dogs.
Absolutely. Go stream their
obviously
new
they've got
album.
the new album out. Go and have a listen.
Thank you.
Absolutely. They're proper quality. And I've been Riley. He's been Tom. They've been the Everyday Dogs. And thank you for joining us on another episode of the podcast. And we will see you in the next episode of the podcast. Wow.